When I found out they celebrated Christmas without me, I didn't cry right away. I just stood in my kitchen, holding my phone, staring at a photo I wasn't meant to see. It was my son's living room. The tree was lit. The table was full. Everyone was smiling. Everyone except me. I remember noticing small details first. The red napkins I once bought. The old serving bowl I gave them when they moved in. The family photo frame, with my picture missing. My hands felt cold, even though the heater was on. I told myself there must be a reason. There is always a reason, isn't there? But that night, when the house went quiet, the question wouldn't leave me. Why didn't they tell me? I wasn't angry. I wasn't shouting or blaming anyone in my mind. I was just confused. Confused in a way that makes your chest feel heavy, like you are standing outside your own life, looking in through a window. I had spent every Christmas of my adult life making space for others, smiling even when I was tired. So how did I become the one who didn't belong? That night, I sat at my small kitchen table alone. The chair across from me stayed empty, and for the first time, I wondered if I had slowly been erased, without ever noticing. Background, relationships, calm pacing. I am a mother of one son, Daniel. He is 42 now, but to me, he still carries the face of the little boy who once held my hand too tight in crowds. Daniel was my whole world after his father passed away. I raised him quietly, carefully. I never thought of myself as a perfect mother, but I was present. I worked long hours as a school secretary, came home tired but always cooked dinner, sat at the table with him, asking about his day, even when his answers were short. We didn't have much, but we had routine. And sometimes routine is another word for love. When Daniel married Emily, I was relieved more than anything. She was polite, calm, organized, the kind of woman who remembered birthdays and kept her home tidy. At first, I told myself not to interfere. I didn't want to be one of those mothers, the ones people whisper about, so I stepped back. I waited for invitations instead of assuming. I asked before visiting. I tried to be respectful. Emily always smiled, but her smile never stayed long. It was subtle, a pause before answering, a look exchanged with Daniel that I couldn't read. Still, nothing was ever said out loud, and when nothing is said, you learn to doubt your own feelings. Holidays were the only time I felt safe. Christmas especially. Christmas meant belonging. It meant showing up with food, sitting at the table, hearing laughter spill into the room, or at least, it used to. After Daniel married, Christmas became flexible. Sometimes early, sometimes late, sometimes rushed. Still, I told myself it was normal. Families change, lives grow busy. I adjusted. I always did. The year everything changed didn't begin with an argument. It began with silence. December arrived quietly, cold mornings, short days, the kind of weather that makes you think about warmth and home. I waited for the usual message, a simple, "What day works for you, Mom?" It didn't come. At first, I thought they were busy. Emily worked long hours. Daniel traveled more than he used to, so I waited. A week passed, then two. I told myself not to push, not to sound needy. When I finally called Daniel, his voice sounded distracted. "Hey, Mom," he said, not cold, just far away. I asked about Christmas plans. There was a pause, just a second too long. "Oh," he said, "we're still figuring things out." I said okay. I always said okay. After the call, I stood in my hallway, phone still in my hand. The house felt bigger than usual, too quiet. I started preparing anyway. Bought small gifts, wrapped them carefully, set aside money I couldn't really spare, because surely they wouldn't forget me. Then Christmas Eve came. The sky was gray. Rain tapped gently against my windows. I cooked a small meal for myself, just in case. I checked my phone often, too often. No message. I went to bed early, telling myself tomorrow would be different.